Good morning, I'm Giorgia Fanesi from Plusservice, and in Step Up project we are the technical support of Marche region. As already mentioned, the goal of Step Up project is make easier the movement of passengers transport throughout Italian and Croatian territory. And we think that one of the main aspects to make this possible is the intermodality. For this reason, with this presentation, I'll give you a definition of intermodality and interoperability with some practical example of this integration. The intermodality is the door-to-door passengers movement by several modes of transport, where each of these modes have a different transport provider or entity responsible for them. So the aim of intermodality is to facilitate efficient and comfortable use of compatible transport modes, such as car sharing, bike sharing, electric car, long-distance buses, trains, and so on. We consider three key factors necessary for the intermodality, that are end users, so all kinds of passengers, citizens, vulnerable users, young students, and so on. And they are important because the intermodality depends on the individual choice of the passenger. Of course, the choices depend on the quality of transport services. And for this reason, we think that the other two key factors are infrastructures and mobility data. For infrastructure, I mean the interchange hub, so points where is possible to shift for a mode of transport to another mode of transport in a very simple way. But the very heart of intermodality are mobility data. Understanding and monitoring the complete network of available transportation modes represent a great opportunity for travelers and for businesses. We have to consider that the mobility data are the base to build the other service of mobility necessary to improve the quality of transport. An example to understand the intermodality is a user that has to go from point A, for example, Bologna in Italy, to a point B, for example, Zara in Croatia, and without the use of a private car. Of course, he has to take different modes of transport to reach the train station in Bologna, so he can use a car sharing or bike sharing. Then he has to take one or two trains to Ancona. Then we have to consider that the station of train station in Ancona is far 2 kilometers from the port of Ancona, so maybe he has to take a urban bus, and at the end he can take a ship to arrive in Zara. Of course, all this travel is possible only if there is an integration of all these transport modes, and if there are good infrastructures and mobility data available to the other transport provider and to the integrator. An example of intermodal system is Google Transit, that everybody knows. It's a system where user can search door-to-door travel solution. So a user can insert an origin and a destination, and the system provides some solution with the different modes of transport. if intermodality is an integration of transport modes, interoperability is the integration of different transport services. Intermodality means that all travelers can move thanks to transport mode through one device and unique user's travel experience. The idea and the scope of interoperability is that to make easier and transparent to the end users the complexity that there is behind a travel with all the services that there are in a travel, also consider the different transport providers. When I talk about integrated services, I mean travel planning solution, booking, ticket issues, payment, and ticket validation. If we consider the previously example, the idea is that for each of these modes of transport, a user has to search information in different systems and has to buy a ticket of different platforms for different transport providers. The idea of the interoperability is put all these services in a single platform, and all the complexity and the problems that there are to integrate these services are behind a platform, and to the users is completely transparent and easy because there is a unique travel experience. Here we can see some model of integration with the 5 types of integration that are ticketing integration, where with this a single card it's possible to access to different modes of transport, taking part of the service. Payment integration, where it's possible to buy different tickets of different transport provider by a unique financial transaction. ICT for mobility means that there is a single interface to search information regarding different transport provider. ICT for tourism, with a single interface, it's possible to search tourism information and mobility package, so prepared card that user can use to travel from different providers. We will see only, very quickly, only 3 of these that are the Oyster card of Transport for London. The Oyster card is a prepaid card that users in London can use to travel through the different modes of transport, for example, bus, trains, or metro. And they have to validate it every time that they take a transport mode, and the correct amount is scaled from the card. My Cicero is a platform that we consider the mobility as a service in Italy. With this platform, it's possible to search door-to-door travel solution and buy different tickets of different transport providers with a unique financial transaction. We think that it's an important platform because with the same interface and with the same user experience, people can travel through all modes of transport in Italy of different cities. The last one is WIM. WIM is the most complete example of mobility as a service because it includes mobility package. So a user can search door-to-door travel solution, pay with a single financial transaction, but they also can buy a subscription and with some modes of transport inside, some access to different modes of transport, and they can travel with this subscription through different modes of transport of different transport providers. I think that the impacts of intermodality and interoperability is important because with these two concepts it's possible to improve the quality of mobility service and increase the use of public transport. So it makes, of course, the reduction of mobility costs and the reduction of pollution. Thank you.